Do you guys want to learn how to make this edit?
Reggaeton champagne, bum 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 bum. Reggaeton champagne, bum 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 bum.
Well, don't worry, because I'm going to show you. Alright, so before we begin, you guys are just going to have to screen record or download this video. I did put it in the description. I basically just made the background for this trend on After Effects for you guys, just to make it as easy as possible for you guys to be able to join in. If you guys use it in your videos, just make sure to credit me for the background. Okay, let's move on to recording some clips. So the game I choose to record my clips in is TTD3 because they have a really good green screen space. You'll find this green screen teleporter. Just step on it and you should be good to go. Before we begin, we're just gonna change some settings. So if we go to lighting and we go down to ambiance, just put it on the white side over here just to brighten up your character a bit because it can be pretty dark. I know I do have shaders on, you guys don't need them for this video. And one last thing we just have to do is we have to remove player tags. So just turn that setting on. And as you can see, we're good to go and we have a really nice green screen we could work with. So for the first clip, since it's in the front, I like to zoom in pretty close to my character just to make sure I get a really high quality recording. And if you're also doing this on mobile, try to do the same thing as me because if your character is zoomed out like this, it's gonna become really pixely when you expand it for the edit. So it's just better to record it like this, if you know what I'm saying. I've seen people use a bunch of different emotes for this trend, so just go with whatever you like. Now that we got that, we just gotta get a video of our character in the back. So for this one, you could zoom out a little more. Once again, I don't like zooming out too much. I just like to get my character's feet in. Pick any emote you like. For example, I really like the guitar walk, so I'm gonna do that one. I might even zoom out one more time just to make sure I'm getting everything. Just get a few seconds of your character doing this as well. We have our male clips, so now we can move on to our female clips. Alright, I don't think I'm doing this trend correctly because it's supposed to be your character gender bent, but I'm just turning into pink, so if you guys don't know, if you're new here, Pink is the other person I share this channel with. She's my cousin. We play games together all the time, and make sure you guys check our other videos out because they're pretty cool, I think. But as I was saying, now we just do the same thing with Pink. Alright, that should be good enough. And with that, we've gotten all the clips we need for this edit, so now let's just go to CapCut. Alright guys, so now that we're in CapCut, I basically just created a new project, and I'm doing this on PC, but I'm pretty sure the CapCut editor is pretty similar on iPad and iPhone. You should be able to get the same effects. It's just laid out a little differently. First, we're just gonna import our files, so I'll be right back. So I imported the background. Once again, the link's in the description, or you could just screen record it. And I also have a recording from TTD3 open up. So we're just gonna throw the background into the timeline. I already added the music and timed it and everything for you guys. All you guys gotta do is just put your characters on top. Alright, we're just gonna drag down the video we took in TTD3, and as you can see, it kind of looks pretty bad right now, but we're gonna fix that up and make it fit in. I'm just gonna find where my character starts dancing. Alright, once we find that point, we're just gonna split the clip over there and just delete everything else because we don't need it. So as you can see, my character's just doing his emote, and what I like to do now is just when the emote ends, I like to split it again so I get the clip on its own. So I'll split it over here, and I'll try to find the next part. Now just do that 2 more times for your other character. Alright, so we've gotten all 4 of our clips trimmed and ready, and now the next thing we're gonna do is just remove that green background. We just wanna crop our video pretty close to our character. Just get all of that junk out of the way so it's just your character and the green screen basically. So that should be good. And I'm just gonna do that for all 4 clips once again. Okay, so now that I got all the videos cropped, I'm just gonna make these 3 up here invisible so we can just see the one at the bottom. Now you wanna go to this tab that says remove background and press chroma key. And then you should just be able to select the green in the back and remove it. And now you just slowly make every other layer visible and you do the same thing. We're almost done, guys. We just gotta position our characters for the edit now. If I just make these all invisible and we look at the background, we see it opens up with the male and female signs, and then we start off with the girl, so I'm actually gonna have to get Pink's character for this. So let's just position it right when it opens up. I think that should be good, and we can start sliding her character in. We'll get the big version of her character. Just move it to line it up with the timeline. See where it sits well. I like it over there. And let's just see what that looks like. Okay, I'm not mad at that. But you guys might be thinking, hey, the character's supposed to move and slide into frames. So for that, we just gotta adjust the keyframes a bit. I'm gonna add a marker there, and I'm gonna try to keyframe this now. Alright, so we're just gonna put a position keyframe right there, and then we're gonna slide back a little bit, and we're just gonna move it out of the frame. just like that. Now if we watch it, you can see she slides into frame just like the edit. And if you want to kind of make the animation a little bit smoother in between, I would just recommend going in between the two keyframes and moving the character up a little bit, so you can see the animation speed will change and she slides in a little bit smoother so it's not as abrupt. Now we just find where the color changes in the background to indicate that it's the male avatar's turn. We'll go with that, and we're just gonna add another marker over there. And now I'm just gonna add another keyframe over here where I move my character out of the screen. I go back a little bit and I copy this keyframe and I paste it over here. So now she moves out of the screen, making room for the male avatar. Once again, if you want to make it look a little smoother, go in between the two keyframes around halfway and just move the character back up a little bit, and this is what it should look like now. I also just like to split the clip over here and just remove the excess so it doesn't get as confusing. Alright, so now we're gonna make this layer visible, which is basically the small version of our other character. In this case, it's my character Blue. I'm not mad at the size of this already, so I don't think I'm gonna change that. I'm just gonna put him up here. And now we do something very similar. We align the keyframes, add a position keyframe, and just move him out of the way at the beginning. So we have something like this. And then once again, just to smooth it out a little bit, bump him up a little bit and add a keyframe in the middle. Alright, so I'm not mad at that. Once again, we're just gonna go to the end where we left our marker from last time when the color changes. And we're just gonna begin sliding him out at the same time. So we'll just copy this old keyframe, find where the keyframes align with the pink layer, add it in. And once again, I'm just gonna move him back halfway between the keyframes so we have a snappier transition. I'm just gonna cut the clip. And there we go. Alright guys, so now for the character in the back, we're just gonna go to effects and search up blur. And I think this one should be good. Just apply it. And as you can see, that's way too much. You don't want to overdo it. You just want to kind of make it seem like he's a little bit off to the distance, a little out of focus. So I would say less is more. I like 12. And now we just basically repeat all of that for the second section. And once you guys do all that, this is what the final product should look like.
Reggaeton champagne, bum 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 bum. Reggaeton champagne, bum 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 bum.
Ignore the audio. I don't want to get copyrighted. If you guys found this helpful, give this video a like and subscribe to our channel, and make sure to check out some of our other content.